checks for years. By the end of the 2025 season, the paperwork confirms Haaland has already pocketed $93.6 million just from his club salary. That's salary alone, folks. We are not counting his monster deals with Nike or the whole Breitling watch thing yet. His contract situation with Manchester City is insane. They basically locked him in until 2034 with a deal valued at $273 million. The man is making around $27.3 million every single year. That works out to roughly $610,000 every single week. That's why he is demonstrably richer right now. The club decided they were not letting him go to Real Madrid, so they took out all the future release clauses and just handed him a wallet-busting salary to stay put. Haaland got the guarantee. He got the $93 million accumulated cash. Now look at Yamal, the most expensive player in the world by market value, $312.83 million. Why is this teenager valued higher than the goal-scoring machine, Haaland, who sits at a measly $204.34 million valuation? It's simple. Time. Yamal is the future. He is 17 years old. The market is putting a premium on his youth, his potential, and the duration he is going to dominate the sport. He has a scarcity factor that Haaland, who is still young, simply doesn't have. But here's the reality check. Yamal's current accumulated wealth is way lower because of simple rules. Because he is a minor, his contract is constrained by law. His current deal, signed in 2023, pays an estimated 32,000 euros a week. That is an astronomical figure to a normal person, but compared to Haaland's $610,000 a week, it's peanuts. His wealth is measured in future contracts, not current assets. But the moment he turns 18 in July 2025, Barcelona is already preparing the contract that will launch him into the stratosphere. Reports say that deal could make him the fourth highest earner at the club, rocketing his salary up to 265,000 euros per week, or about $12 million a year. That massive future paycheck is why Yamal is already spending like a veteran, starting with his housing situation. And you need to see the shocking contrast between where Haaland sleeps and where Yamal still does his homework. The houses tell the best story about the difference between these two stars. This is the biggest gap in their luxury lives. Haaland, the multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio. Haaland owns houses like most people own socks. His primary residence when he is not playing in Manchester is his $7.12 million villa in Marbella, Spain. This isn't a small beach house. It's a 22,507 square foot complex. It has everything: a pool, a sauna, huge gardens, and wait for it, a 4,000 square foot underground wing for complete privacy and security. The guy is basically Batman in Spain. Then he has his Manchester crib. This is where the truly crazy lifestyle comes in. His lavish mansion in the Manchester area has one specific custom feature that cost him nearly $620,000 just to install. His own personal walk-in cryotherapy chamber. You know, the hyper cold machine that helps your muscles recover. He has one custom built inside his house. That is the life of a man obsessed with recovery and who has cash spilling over to fund that obsession. He even bought a $3.28 million apartment in Oslo, Norway in 2023. Haaland collects luxury homes like some people collect trading cards. He is living the established, globe-trotting millionaire life. Now, Yamal, here is the paradox. Even though his current salary is lower, his actions show a maturity and focus that is amazing for his age. Where is Yamal living? Well, until very recently, he was still living in the La Masia residence, the club's famous youth academy housing. Think of it, the most financially valuable player on the planet was still living in a dorm room. He had a curfew, had to follow school rules, and probably had to eat the same cafeteria food as the 14-year-olds training alongside him. But here is where his financial power begins to show. Yamal has been quietly investing in real estate, but not for himself. For his family. In 2024, Spanish media reported he went on a buying spree. He bought a massive 650 square meter mansion with a pool and private elevator for his mother in the Barcelona area. He also bought a large flat in Barcelona with 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And in a move that screams maturity, he reportedly purchased homes for his mother, his father, and his grandmother in his hometown of Rocafonda. So while Haaland is freezing himself in his personal chamber and chilling in his 4,000 square foot underground lair, Yamal is focused on setting up his entire family. His houses are a sign of his future security, not his current personal excess. It's a completely different mindset. This difference in lifestyle becomes even more ridiculous when you look at their garages. One of these players owns a car so rare and high-tech, it's barely street legal. The other is still practicing for his driving test. You do not want to miss the car comparison coming up next. Welcome to the most absurd garage comparison in sports. This is where the established wealth of Haaland truly comes out to play, and where the youth of Yamal creates the most relatable sports moment of the year. Haaland, the hypercar collector. Haaland's collection is not just expensive, it's rare. He doesn't just buy fast cars, he buys limited production, one-of-a-kind automotive art. His Bugatti Tourbillon, the successor to the legendary Chiron, costs somewhere between $4 and $5 million. They are only making about 250 of them total. This is a car for the 1% of the 1%. But he doesn't stop there. He owns a Mercedes-AMG 1 hypercar, a car that puts actual Formula 1 technology onto the public road. Only 275 of these exist. He also has a limited edition Ferrari Monza SP2 Roadster, which is a 1 of 499 piece of history. And if that wasn't enough to secure his place as a collector, he has a Ferrari 12-cylinder concept car. The total cost of his garage is likely higher than the GDP of a small country. To drive these cars, you need wealth, status, and an insurance policy the size of a phone book. He also owns the sensible but still outrageously luxurious vehicles like a Rolls-Royce Cullinan and a Mercedes-Maybach S680. He has the whole spectrum of ultra-luxury. Now Yamal, the most valuable player on the planet, what is he driving? Well, the most important fact is, he is still learning to drive. Think about that. He is scoring goals against the best defenders in the world one weekend, and the next, he's probably in a parking lot practicing parallel parking. This is peak relatability. However, the prodigy still has a notable collection for a teenager. According to reports, his collection includes an Audi A3 hatchback. This is basically a slightly nicer version of what a rich kid gets for their 16th birthday. A sporty Cupra Formentor SUV, a Range Rover SUV. But here is where the future starts to bleed into the present. Reports also list a McLaren Artura hybrid supercar in his garage. That is a 680 horsepower machine. This shows the power of the future contract. While he can't legally drive it on his own yet, having that car waiting for him is the definition of his life right now. Potential energy that is about to explode. Yamal is in the awkward stage where he has the money to buy a dream garage, but he needs his mom or a club employee to drop him off at practice. Haaland is in the stage where he needs a full-time mechanic just to keep his one of 275 hypercars running. The difference in their wealth and possessions is one thing. The difference in their daily routines is another. Haaland's daily discipline is the reason he is a machine, but it's so strange, it makes him feel like an alien. Yamal's routine, on the other hand, is a hilarious reminder that he is still just a kid. Wait till you hear what Yamal is forced to do that Haaland will never have to worry about again, which is simply meditating. He is locked into a routine of extreme diet, extreme recovery, and extreme mental focus. He is a finely tuned machine, and his lifestyle is completely designed around one goal: scoring goals. Yamal, the normal teenager with a dream. Yamal's discipline is forced, but beautiful. Why? Because the most valuable player in the world is still subject to the rules of a student. When he was at La Masia, the famous Barcelona academy, he had mandatory routines that had nothing to do with football. He had to go to class. He had required schoolwork. He had mandatory study sessions. He had a bedtime and a curfew. The club set strict dietary rules for all its youth players, meaning Yamal doesn't get to choose his diet in the same obsessive way Haaland does. Yamal is still operating within the framework of a teenager's life, just with a lot more money attached to it. While Haaland is eating liver and freezing himself to achieve a 1% gain, Yamal is probably trying to finish his math homework before practice and sneaking a cookie or two. Yamal is living the normal life that Haaland completely bypassed by becoming a professional so fast. This youthful balance, this forced normality, is probably one of the reasons he is so good. He is grounded in the real world, whereas Haaland has had to build his own hyper-disciplined reality. But here is the thing, the money and the routines feed into the biggest status symbols in their life. The brands they wear, one is dripping in gold and expensive watches. The other is putting his initials on a custom piece of gear. The brand comparison is next, including the one thing Yamal has secured that gives him status in a world Haaland can never touch. The brands they partner with show who they are to the world. They are the biggest, loudest status symbols they own, outside of a Bugatti. Haaland, the king of Lux. Haaland's style is pure, extravagant luxury. He is the guy who shows up to the red carpet in a suit that costs more than your college tuition. His partnership with Breitling is massive. He did not just sign a deal, he co-designed a limited edition Breitling Chronomat watch with a meteorite dial. It's a 500-piece run, and the watch variants he wears cost anywhere from $10,000 up to $47,000. He was even photographed in Dolce & Gabbana pajamas, accessorizing the outfit with a Rolex Daytona worth over $137,000. Haaland is the face of established wealth. He has the style of a superhero who just walked out of a high-end designer shop. His deals with Nike are the fuel for his $93 million salary base. He is the poster boy for the successful, stylish, hyper-focused European superstar, Yamal, the next generation icon. Yamal is a different kind of icon. He is the street-style kid who is about to take over. His main brand partnership is with Adidas. This is a massive long-term agreement that shows the brand is betting the house on his future. How big is this deal? They created a custom limited edition boot for him, the F50 LY 304. The LY is his initials, Lamine Yamal, and the 304 is the bus line he used to take from his home to Barcelona's training ground. That is the difference. Haaland is selling a meteorite dial. Yamal is selling a story about taking the bus. It is a humble, aspirational kind of status that connects to every kid with a dream. The other major status symbol Yamal has secured, one that gives him power in the gaming world, is his partnership with Konami as the official ambassador for eFootball. Haaland has deals with luxury watch companies. Yamal has deals with video game companies. It is the definition of the generational gap in status. Even his first public red carpet moment, the 2024 Ballon d'Or Gala, involved a high-end watch, but the number reported for the watch was just a fraction of Haaland's accessories. He is buying up real estate for his parents, while Haaland is buying up watches for himself. We have seen the money, the houses, the cars, and the clothes. Haaland is the king of accumulation. Yamal is the prince of potential. But there is one thing that neither of their fortunes can buy: time, and that is Yamal's greatest asset. Haaland has the silverware. He has the trophies. He has the Champions League title and the goal-scoring records. He has the established legacy. Yamal has the age. The simple, plain fact that he is only 17. He holds nearly every youngest ever record in Spanish football. He is the exponential prodigy. His entire journey is ahead of him. His $312 million market valuation is not a cash amount. It is the world betting that he will have a longer, more successful career than anyone else. So back to the big paradox. Who is living the better luxury lifestyle right now? It is absolutely Erling Haaland. He has the $93.6 million in the bank. He has the Bugatti. He has the private cryo chamber. He is enjoying the rewards of his years of work. He is at the peak of the mountain now. But here is the final mind-bending thought that makes Yamal's story so magnetic. Yamal has proven he is already successful while still following his school curriculum. He has made enough money to buy his entire family a home, and he is making 32,000 euros a week before his professional life even fully begins. In the next few years, when he gets that new contract and fully turns 18, his wealth will accelerate. Yamal is poised to not just catch up to Haaland, but to absolutely smash his current wealth records. Haaland is the finished diamond. Yamal is the raw, untouched mountain of gold, and the world is about to watch that mountain explode. If you thought the $312 million valuation was wild, remember this: the money is only going up. This comparison will look completely different in just 3 years. Let me know in the comments, when Lamine Yamal gets his next contract, what is the first hypercar he is going to buy to put next to his Audi? Drop your guess below and click here to watch my video, and thanks for watching.